Hello everyone and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host Michael Tabor. So I'm going to do another Mike at the Movies episode here. I don't do the most recent movies. I just do whatever I see. You know, like I'm not doing the Joker here or whatever. Last week I did a movie on Afterlife, Life. Very obscure movie. Liam Neeson was in it and not a very good movie, but I watched it and I did it. So as I stated in my previous videos, the problem is with copyright. If you put a clip up, it's really tricky on YouTube. You know, they'll take it down. So I really just talk very casually and formally on movies that I see the, previous night or whatever. So last night on Blu-ray, I got The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. I have it here. What was that? That was 2008. My goodness, what an incredible movie. And Mickey Rourke, so this was like 11 years ago, and he is huge. Mickey Rourke still is big. I'm going to actually show a picture of him here. And how old is Mickey Rourke? Like in his 60s, right? I mean, it's just craziness. Marisa Tomei, I'm a big fan. She plays a stripper. Okay, so getting right into this. So Mickey Rourke plays this guy, Randy, what is it? I wrote some notes here. Randy the Ram Robinson, and he's a wrestler, old guy. His body is beat up. He's got the scars to prove it. And he's not like a huge Bob Backlund or Hulk Hogan guy. He's a small-time, independent sort of wrestler. These little gymnasiums, kind of small, really low-end stuff. There was a time you see in the beginning where he was quite big, and now he's older, and he's just doing, wrestling, breaking his body for like a couple of $100 a night. It's absolutely insanity. So you say, why does he do this? Because that's all he knows. He can do one thing well, and that's this. This is what he does, and that's the story of people getting old and not knowing what to do with their lives. People have made a mess of their lives. Marisa Tomei is an aging stripper. I know it sounds silly, but go with it. It's great. It's really well done. She's amazing in this, and she's beautiful. She's older, middle-aged here, but man, she looks fucking incredible. Her body, and she is one good-looking woman. Always has been. So you see, and Mickey Rourke is gigantic, and his face looks so strange. If you haven't seen the movies, came out 10 years ago, you'll see Mickey Rourke. So that's the setup. Why does he do it? Because he can't do anything else. Anyway, when it comes to wrestling, so here's the deal, right? Especially now, well, the deal is like, oh, it's fake. It's all bullshit. Yes and no. Is it staged? All that. But did they fall and get hurt? Absolutely. Sometimes even worse. Like now you have UFC, MMA, mixed martial arts, no hold bar, right, for the past 20 years. And it's like, oh, like fake stuff? Why am I going to watch that? Here's a little FYI. Many people enjoy the fake stuff more than the real stuff, all right, because of the show and all this. It's a little sidebar, but these people get hurt, and you'll see in this movie they could do a good job of showing how they fall and they cut themselves, and it's like the one scene where there's a stapler. I mean, it's just crazy shit, I've never been let me take that back. I was going to say I've never been a professional wrestling fan. I was when I was a kid. I don't watch it so much now, older, but I do totally respect these guys. These guys are the real deal. They're athletic, they're strong, and they know how to fight. They are wrestlers. Like, hey, Brock Lesnar, right? Brock Lesnar, professional wrestling. He went into the UFC and won the championship. He knows how to wrestle. If you look at Brock Lesnar's wrestling record, it was like 180-0. He wrestled at Oklahoma. Okay, so back again, I paused. I usually don't make any cuts, but for this one, because I'd taken some notes. So the guy, Mickey Rourke, it's his character's name is the Ram Robinson, and he's broken. He's all... everywhere, his face, his whole thing. And if you think about the actor, Mickey Rourke was kind of, and I'm actually had some notes here, I read a couple of the reviews. If you take a look at his life, he was on top of the world, right? Who was he with? was it not Nicole Kidman? Kim Basinger. He did a movie 9.5 Weeks. He was like in the 90s, late 80s. He was the biggest star there was. So all this glamour and all this. And Mickey Rourke used to actually do boxing on the side. And I think what he said later on, Mickey Rourke today, he's a fucking character. He really is out there. He loves... Well, let me just go back to what Mickey Rourke said. He said that it's too feminine. It's like Hollywood is pussified. Like that was his thing. Like, oh, these... You know, and he wanted to get into real... and another thing was this fake. You know, I wanted to get into real life. So Mickey Rourke... actually boxed and he was involved in UFC. He's crazy. I think he's still doing it, and he's in his 60s. So here's another thing with Mickey Rourke. He looks amazing, like the body, like a 60-year-old man with that body. Yes, he's doing steroids, and they show that. You'll see that the hero has a heart attack. It's horrible. You know, not only does he do steroids, but he drinks, and then later on you see him do cocaine. It's just really hard life. I'm looking at my notes here. And here's another thing. Mickey Rourke did, if not all the stunts, most of them. Like falling from a high ground, boom! It's incredible how he was able to move his body like that. You know, I've seen a lot of special effects and all this, and I pay attention to this stuff. It looks like Mickey Rourke was doing the stunts. It's just right into this. So Mickey Rourke, Randy the Ram, he has a daughter who he hasn't seen in many years, and she hates him, and he tries to get back that relationship, and it's hard. He tries, and it's very moving. Midway through, he tries to reconnect after his heart attack, and he wants to get his priorities straight, and he says, listen, I'm a motherfucker, drinking, carousing, was never around. Turns out he fucks that up. I'm not going to get into the details of that. And then this thing, he goes to a strip bar. And here we introduce Marisa Tomei and Micah. And again, here's the parallels. She's an aging stripper. She looks amazing, as I said earlier. She's in her 40s. She has a stunning body, just beautiful face. But you can see she's older, and she's a little desperate. So it's the same sort of thing. Like, why? Why is she doing this still? Why isn't Mickey Rourke still? What else? They don't know anything else. And it turns out, you find out later, Marisa Tomei has a 9-year-old son. She's a regular person. There was one day Marisa Tomei helps Mickey Rourke pick out, I'm using the actors' names, but Randy the Ram and Cassidy, or Pam is Marisa Tomei's name. They pick out this thing for like a cute little sweater with his daughter's name on it. You know, they go shopping, and it's like, oh my God, you're like a regular person. You're not a stripper here. You know, so very touching. Another thing about, yes, Mickey Rourke's character, Randy the Ram, and Cassidy, they are, they're old and washed up, and there's a thing, they are performers. So Mickey Rourke is in love with her. He, if you want to use that word, yeah, I guess you could say love. And he's fallen for her, but Cassidy says, listen, I have a line I don't cross. I don't interact with customers. And there's a whole thing with that. So when you think about Mickey Rourke's character, the wrestler, he's a performer. That's not really him. It is his whole life, but that's him. And same with Marisa Tomei. It's kind of there she is. And there she's doing her stripping. So anyway, I highly recommend this movie. Go see it. I won't spoiler alert everything. You got to see the backstage stuff, the camaraderie between the other wrestlers. And I know there were real wrestlers back there. And it's just terrific, heartwarming, and unbelievably sad. Sad beyond words. And what performances. I cannot even begin to tell you how incredible Mickey Rourke was and Marisa Tomei. There was a shot, and I actually paused and I went back forth, where Mickey Rourke is talking to her in this strip club, and he wants to have a relationship because I know you felt something, and there's a whole thing that goes on. There's an argument, and you see her face, and it's like she's an older woman now. She's middle-aged, still beautiful, but there's this hard, sad look about it. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Watch the movie, The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky, 2008. If you haven't seen it, younger people, millennials, Gen Z, check it out. Go get it on Blu-ray. You can't stream it off of Netflix yet, but damn, there's still Blu-ray players, DVD players. Get that movie, The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky's 2008. That's Tabor Talk. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding.